Y'all ready to celebrate? Come on, get back up on your feet. Come on. Expect the rain. Put your hands on it, y'all. Come on, y'all. Catch it. Say, expect. Expect the rain. Anybody expecting great things? Expect the rain. Come on, say expecting great. Expect the rain. Come on, everybody say expect. Expect the rain. I can't hear you. Say it, y'all. Come on, lift it up, expect the great.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you. Lord, we thank you for this time and this space, Lord. We thank you for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Lord, we thank you for our partners, our sponsors, Lord. We thank you for every realtist, every guest, every member and non-member on this call. Lord, help us to become more knowledgeable so that we may impact communities across this country. Lord, bless our businesses, bless our families, protect us from COVID, protect us from any virus that may come against us. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Well, today we're excited to introduce a new partnership with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. This relationship strategy has been structured to create partnership opportunities at the national, the regional, state, and local levels. Today, you're going to hear about programs and resources available for your clients. Our goal is to create this structure with other federal home loan banks that are not currently partners with NARAB. Today, we welcome 56 of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta shareholders known to us as potential lending partners. I know you will find today's information valuable for your community. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our president, Mr. Donnell Williams.
Well, thank you very much, Renee. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single realtor, every single partner and sponsor on this telephone call. We are here to first welcome our new partner, our new sponsor here. We want to welcome them into our fold and embrace them and their programs as we move forward aggressively to impact Black home ownership. We said we were going to raise Black home ownership, and we are doing just what we said. As of August 1st, that third quarter, the Black home ownership rate was 40.6%. The next quarter went up to 42.7%. The next 2 quarters after that, 44%. I haven't seen the numbers for this quarter coming out now, but I believe that NAREB has made a difference. I believe that each one of you individually has made a difference, and I believe collectively will make a difference. So please listen to these programs as we move forward. They match up and they align with the NAREB, with the Realtist 8. We're on our way. So this information here is extremely valuable. I'm glad to see so many folks on here from Atlanta as well. That's beautiful. That's great. So some of the panelists we have here today are, one is Arthur Fleming. Now, Arthur Fleming directs Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta's community investment, economic development, and affordable housing products and services. Mr. Fleming has over 35 years of experience in a variety of financial services, legal, housing development, urban planning, academic roles. Before joining the bank, Fleming was Chief Lending and Investment Officer for the Opportunity Finance Network, a national community development financial institution. Also served as the Senior Director for the Southeast Region and Director of Housing Finance for Fannie Mae Foundation, Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Housing Initiatives at GMAC Residential, Founder and Executive Director of the Community Financing Consortium, and the Attorney/Senior Associate for FAU-FIU Joint Center for Environmental and Urban Problems. Fleming earned his undergraduate degree from Florida State University and has a master's degree in urban and regional planning and Juris Doctorate from the University of Florida. Many banks look for resources to achieve their Community Reinvestment Act, or CRA as we know it, objectives. Arthur Fleming educates audiences on how to link CRA compliance with their business development and customer acquisition objectives. Fleming also speaks frequently about real estate finance, Federal Home Bank of Atlanta's affordable housing program, and their economic multiplier effect. that results from AHP-funded housing development. Topics for today, topics he's covered are affordable housing finance, Community Reinvestment Act, community lending structures, economic impact of affordable housing. So we are extremely pleased to have Mr. Fleming here today with us. Also speaking today will be ShaDonte Butler. Now, Ms. Butler, as a business development manager, ShaDonte Butler focuses on cultivating and expanding the bank's customer relationships and driving new business to the bank through its community investment products. Prior to joining the bank in May 2009 as business and relationship development manager, Ms. Butler worked in a variety of roles within Fannie Mae's single-family mortgage division. Her most recent position was sales support manager, in which she developed operational efficiencies to increase new customer acquisition and developed effective sales techniques and procedures to successfully position Fannie Mae's products and technology offerings. Ms. Butler earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Finance and Economics, summa cum laude, from Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee, a Master of Business Administration specializing in finance from Clark Atlanta University, and a Master of Science in Building Construction Residential Development from Georgia Tech. She resides in Atlanta, Georgia. Speaker overview: as the business development manager, ShaDonte Butler focuses on educating financial institutions on how Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta's affordable housing products and services can be used to reach strategic goals and enhance their Community Reinvestment Act. He also discusses how Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta's shareholders can leverage the bank's products and services to create new lending opportunities. Someone we should know, ladies and gentlemen, ShaDonte Butler. The third speaker today is Cassandra Madden. She's the bank officer, ownership coordinator, Community Investment Services, Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. As ownership coordinator, Cassandra Madden focuses on establishing positive relationships between Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta and its shareholder members. Through outreach and training on the bank's homeowners assistance and community investment products, Madden helps bring to light the positive impact the bank's affordable housing initiatives have on the communities served by its members every day. Ms. Madden earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in English from Clayton State University in Clayton, Georgia. She resides in Fayetteville, Georgia. As ownership coordinator, Cassandra Madden contributes to the education of shareholders on the use of affordable housing products and other community investment programs that can help them achieve strategic goals, build community relations, and take advantage of other lending opportunities to grow their business portfolio. Ladies and gentlemen, realtors, we have assembled some of the greatest folks, finance folks, community relations folks, for you today with our new partner, Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, and we are moving in the right direction with these folks. So, and without further ado, Art, I'm going to give you the floor. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Donnell, and thank also the National Association of Real Estate Brokers for inviting us as your partner. And we look forward to a long-lasting relationship, mutually beneficial relationship. And today is really all about how the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta can provide products to assist its member institutions. And we'll have a few representatives of our member institutions to speak with you today, how we can assist our member institutions in linking up with members of NARAB to provide essential housing, home ownership into the community. Now, Donnell, you were kind enough to provide an introduction for myself and my colleagues at the Federal Home Loan Bank, but I also like to introduce, and you'll meet them a little later during the presentation, but I also like to introduce Betty Settles. Betty is with Ameris Bank. She's the mortgage branch manager there. Darren Sheetley, he's the vice president and mortgage origination and support manager at United Community Bank. Also, Steve Shoemaker. Steve is the Director of Residential Mortgage Production with Synovus Bank. And also, I'd like to introduce Patrick Nola. Patrick's the Vice President and Director of Production with South Point Bank in Alabama. So with that, why don't we just move directly into our presentation. Do we have the presentation displayed?
Yes, sir.
So we'll move directly into the first page, and I'll share with you our game plan for today. So let's quickly run through this. We'll provide you about a 5-minute overview of the Federal Home Loan Bank. It's not really that important that you know very much about who and what we are. What's really important is that you're able to connect with our member institutions, and we'll show you exactly how you can do that before we end the phone call. We'll share with you that the fact that many of you more than likely have participated in these down payment assistance programs around the country. And we'll like to make sure that we distinguish what we do from what's provided through local government and state government entities. Look, the heart of the discussion today is to help you grow your business. And we want to make sure that you have as a primary takeaway that you can connect with one of our member institutions. And not only do we have presenters today that are members of the Federal Home Loan Bank, but we also have, as Donnell mentioned earlier, over 50 other representatives that are also members of the Federal Home Loan Bank doing business in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama that are eager to work with you. We'll obviously, spend some time discussing the products that we have available, and obviously we want to leave time for questions at the end as well. Next slide. Next slide, please. So let's just talk really very briefly about the Federal Home Loan Bank system, because unfortunately we're not as well known as perhaps some of our other government-sponsored enterprise members of the government-sponsored enterprise family, like Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac, but we've been around since 1932. We were created by Congress, although we're non-governmental. We're government chartered, but we're non-governmental, and although the name sort of implies that we're a federal agency, we're not. We're in the business of providing balance sheet liquidity for financial institutions to enable them to extend credit to their customers. So Fannie and Freddie are in the mortgage liquidity business. The Federal Home Loan Bank is in the balance sheet liquidity business. Another key distinction with the Federal Home Loan Bank is that we're actually 11 distinct entities. You can see the map there where we're broken into geographic areas of the country. Each Federal Home Loan Bank has its own board of directors, its own executive management, etc. And we have our own unique products as well. We believe that this regional approach to business has been one of the really very successful elements of the Federal Home Loan Bank throughout the years. If you go to the next slide. The Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta region is 7 states and the District of Columbia, extending from DC to the north, Florida to the south, over to Alabama. We're around the second of the 11 Federal Home Loan Banks. We're probably the first or second largest from an asset size standpoint. Total of about $190 billion of assets, of which most of those are what we call advances, which is essentially the form of the liquidity that we provide to our member institutions. We enjoy about $2.2 billion in retained earnings. And the last bullet there is most important. Our member institutions purchase stock in the Federal Home Loan Bank. So we're owned by our member institutions. Our customer are our member institutions. And our member institutions, as you'll see on the next slide, range from single branch operations in the middle of Alabama to institutions like Bank of America, Truist Bank, Regions Bank, etc. So we have credit unions, we have commercial banks, we have savings banks, we have a diversity of financial institutions, the vast majority of which are in the single-family mortgage business. Again, our member institutions, another key distinction with Fannie and Freddie, our member institutions have stock in the Federal Home Loan Bank. We believe that sort of cooperative ownership structure, that sort of stock-held ownership structure by our member institutions have allowed us to withstand some of the major financial crises that have occurred, I guess, over the last, several decades. And we've maintained a certain level of strength in that we've continued to pay dividends to our members, but also deliver on our corporate mission. Next slide. So let's move into exactly why we're here today. And it's all about equity. It's all about empowering your home buyers to purchase a home that, but for the delivery of this equity, they may not be in a position to purchase. So let's talk about the affordable housing program at the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. Next slide, please. Now, ShaDonte Butler and Cassandra Madden will provide, along with our colleagues from our member institutions that I introduced earlier, they'll provide you the details on the specific products of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. Now, these products are unique to the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. Other Federal Home Loan Banks offer other products, but the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta is particularly aggressive in providing home ownership products. Since 1997, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta alone has provided over $235 million in this down payment assistance. And we can call it down payment assistance, but to tell you the truth, it's just principal reduction. And the amount that we provide range from $5,000 up to, in certain cases, $10,000. And you'll see more detail on that a little later. Altogether, we've provided about $1 billion of grants, about $1 billion. And that grant funding is predicated upon the earnings of the Federal Home Loan Bank. Another key distinction between Fannie and Freddie. Every single year, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta alone delivers about $40 to $50 million in grants through its member institutions only. In order to access the grants through the Federal Home Loan Bank, you must work with one of our member financial institutions. And as I've said before, there are about 50 of them that are represented on this call. If we could scroll down a little. I want you to know that, working with us and working with our member institutions will be worthwhile to your business as a realtor. I know that, oftentimes you work with maybe some other entities, maybe housing finance agencies and local governments, and you found it difficult to work through the bureaucracy, or you found it challenging to close a deal in a timely manner. You won't have that problem with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. We're a completely different animal, and although sometimes we layer our funding with funding from other sources, I can tell you that we have an extraordinarily efficient system for responding to our member institutions and getting deals to close rather promptly. But I also want you to know that we're a pretty substantial organization. We have funding. Over the years, about $137 million, as I mentioned before, has just been dedicated just to the home ownership side. We also finance multifamily housing. That's resulted in about $3.06 billion of first mortgage lending behind that. And there's been an economic impact there of about 45,000 jobs. And I know these sort of numbers are not foreign to realtors, and that the National Association of Realtors, and I know the NARAB as well, you look at the value of the economic impact of home purchases in this country, and you know how important your role is in our economy. Next slide, please. I mentioned scale before. Just in the last 4 years or so, we've closed enough transactions to essentially populate the city of Kingston, Maryland, Winsboro, South Carolina, Woodbridge, Virginia, Clarkson, Georgia, Wetumpka, Alabama, and Miami Shores, Florida, all put together. So we have the scale that you're looking for to ensure that, you know, you're not devoting time and efforts to an activity that's only closing, you know, a few transactions a year. So I wanted to provide you this overview of who and what we are. I wanted to let you know that we have the capacity to get things done with you. I want you to know that also we have the funding to enable you to devote the time and resources that you need to partner with one of our member institutions. And with that, I'll turn it over to ShaDonte Butler, and ShaDonte will begin a discussion of the products and services that we offer specifically to the Federal Home Loan Bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Good afternoon, everyone. So again, my name is ShaDonte Butler. I'm excited to have the opportunity to talk with you today about our homeowner assistance product and how they can be used to help serve your customers and hopefully help you generate new customers and really grow your business. So next slide, we'll start with an overview of the products that are available, what we call our homeowner assistance product, and also part of that community dividend that Art talked about earlier. So as you can see on the screen, we have a number of different products that we'll talk about today. The way these products work is that they are available on a first come, first served basis. So every year, as Art mentioned, we allocate a certain percentage of our net earnings. We make that money available to our shareholders on a first come, first served basis. So this year, for instance, we started in January with about $17 million, and we will continue to take applications through the course of the year until that money is depleted. So as Art also talked about, we represent over 800 shareholders, and a number of those shareholders take advantage of our program. So in order to make sure we're able to spread that money across as many of our shareholders as possible, we do have a limit where each shareholder is able to access up to $1 million in a calendar year. Now that $1 million is not an allocation because again, the money is first come, first served, but that $1 million is a cap, again, just to make sure that as many of our shareholders as possible are able to take advantage of those funds. The products range anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. And as Art mentioned, you may hear us refer to these products as down payment assistance programs. But one of the great things about these programs is that they are very flexible in terms of being able to be used for down payment, closing costs, principal reduction. So they really are able to be used by your customers in terms of what works best for their particular situation. There is a great deal of flexibility there. You can also see the note at the bottom of the screen. So these products are really designed to serve low and moderate income home buyers. So just want you to be aware of that as well. And so we do have an income calculator tool on our website that helps you determine exactly what the income limits are based on what your borrower is purchasing. But we also encourage you, of course, to talk to our member financial institutions, and they will be able to determine whether or not your borrower qualifies for these products. But again, a broad variety of products. And so we can go to the next slide and talk about the first one, which is our first-time homebuyer product. That product allows us to offer $5,000 to first-time homebuyers. For this product, the homebuyer does have to contribute at least $1,000 of their own funds. But if they are able to contribute that $1,000, they're able to get $5,000 towards the purchase of their property. And first-time homebuyer for us, just a note, doesn't mean that they've never owned a home. First-time homebuyer for us means that they have not owned in the past 3 years. So again, some great flexibility there. So as Art mentioned, we thought it would be very helpful for you to actually hear from some of our shareholders that are using these products. So the first shareholder we'll hear from is Becky Settles with Ameris Bank. So I'll turn it over to Becky to talk about how Ameris Bank leverages these programs.
Great. Thank you, ShaDonte. Hi, all. This is Becky, and I have absolutely enjoyed working with the Federal Home Loan Bank with their first-time homebuyer product here. It's actually one of my favorites. Not only has it helped buyers get, excuse me, my voice is losing. Not only has it helped get buyers into their home just because they haven't had enough opportunity to save for their down payment or their closing costs, it's actually helped me close more deals and feel good about it. They're still credit-worthy customers. Just because they haven't saved enough does not mean they're not credit-worthy. I'm a big proponent of these types of products. One of my favorite things with using the Federal Home Loan Bank is it gives me the flexibility not just to use it with an FHA loan, but I can use it with conventional. I can use it in rural areas for my USDA, and I can use it for my veterans. So that has helped me be very flexible with some of my buyers. I've really enjoyed working with this program. It's very easy to use. If they have mentioned, I can always get the answers that I need and tips to close more loans. And I hope to continue. I've been using it for the last 15 years, and I hope to continue with another 15 years. ShaDonte?
Thank you, Becky. So on the next slide, we'll talk about another product that's available, our Community Partners product. So for years, we primarily offered the first-time homebuyer program. And then within the last few years, we've started to look at what are some other tools in the toolkit that we can provide to help serve members of the community. And so one of the products we developed is what we call the Community Partners product. This allows you to offer up to $7,500 for anyone that's employed in education, or as a healthcare worker, as a firefighter, police officer, first responders. So a couple of things you'll notice, again, it goes up to $7,500, so it's a little higher than our first-time homebuyer product. We do still require that $1,000 contribution from the borrower, and this one is also available to first-time and non-first-time homebuyers. So as long as your borrower is purchasing a property that they will actually reside in, even if they've already owned another property, if they're employed in one of these fields, then they're able to take advantage of this product. And this one in particular, I think, has represented some great marketing opportunities for our shareholders in terms of being able to really provide funds to help those that are on the front lines helping us right now. So now we have the opportunity to hear from another shareholder that has used our product, Mr. Darren Shidley from United Community Bank.
Well, thank you, ShaDonte. Really appreciate that. We here at United Community Bank, we started working with Federal Home Loan Bank in 2014, but in 2017 we took a little turn and we private labeled it for ourselves under we call it the U Advantage. And as we've grown our mortgage team, we've also grown our footprint. We've also been able to focus on offering additional programs to assist the buyer's needs for down payment and financing options. And FHLB has really helped us meet that criteria. What really made us a little bit different with working with our agents, for us, we consider it a starter because it's a conversational with the buyer is where you're going to come with your funds to close. A lot of buyers struggle with that. And anytime I can offer something for forgivable funds for a purchase is always a good thing. In some situations, it's desperately needed. And with the Federal Home Loan Bank program, we know offering that's not a state bond program, buyers are a little more relieved because there's a little less paperwork. There's no additional charges or fees, and the communication we get with the Federal Home Loan Bank is astounding because it's not adding more time to my deal. I'm not creating a new file. There's less paperwork involved, and also for us in the operational side, we don't have to have a specialized team just to handle this type of program because here, one thing Becky had mentioned, no matter if it's a 97%, a 96%, we go all the way up to 100% programs. Here at UCB, we offer the U Advantage program, which is our private label for Federal Home Loan Bank, to every loan program we have as long as guidelines permit. One thing we actually have worked with is our agents on creating presentations for them that are specifically for the Federal Home Loan Bank. We have ones just for the veterans programs, so the agents are able to go out there and do first-time home buyers, but also show about the veteran side of all the benefits up to that $10,000 that's available to them. And we also come out with them and give specific marketing materials for them for each individualized program. We just talked about that Community Partners program. It's a great for first-time home buyers. It's also really, really great for the teachers, educators. Let's talk about first responders. Sometimes they struggle in the beginning not having a lot of funds to purchase a house. Well, we talk about first-time home buyers who are younger buyers just getting into the market. Single parents, first one-person household, all that brings value to that agent who says, I know I have a lender who can offer you a program possibly to get you some additional funds. we've really partnered well and with our agents in teaching them on how to create a better buyer's package. So when the buyers are saying, what else can you offer me, we're there to help. We're really thankful for the partnership we have with the Federal Home Loan Bank. As our loan volume continues to grow and expand the programs, Federal Home Loan Bank definitely has allowed us to offer more financial assistance to borrowers and to build better relationships with our realtor partners. We thank you for that. I'm going to pass it back to you, Cassandra.
Thanks, Darren. We appreciate that. So now we'll talk about a couple of other products. The next one is our foreclosure recovery product. This is a product that we developed years ago, really at the height of the foreclosure crisis. It was designed as a way to help our member financial institutions sell some of those foreclosed properties that were on their books. So this product allows home buyers that are purchasing foreclosed properties from any of our member financial institutions to access up to $15,000 towards the purchase of the property. So again, there is still a $1,000 home buyer contribution. It's available for first-time and non-first-time home buyers. But the key there is the property has to be owned by one of our member financial institutions. So as Art mentioned earlier, our members range from Bank of America, Truist, Regions Bank, so some of the larger regional banks, down to a lot of community bank credit unions. So we do have a member directory on our website. It's a comprehensive listing of all of our members. So if you ever have questions about whether or not a particular property is owned by one of our members, you can always reference that member directory or reach out to us and help figure out whether or not that selling entity is a member of FHLBank Atlanta. So again, a great opportunity for buyers in the right scenario if they're purchasing a foreclosed property from one of our members to access up to $15,000 towards the purchase of that property. The next slide, we'll talk about a product that we have available for veterans. So for veterans are able to access up to $7,500 from the purchase of their property. A key distinction for veterans, most of the products that we have talked about so far, the borrowers are having to contribute at least $1,000 of their own funds. For veterans, we do not require a contribution, so they're able to get that full $7,500 regardless of how much they're putting into the transaction. This product is also available for first-time and non-first-time home buyers. And this product is essentially available to anyone that served in any branch of the military, and it's also available for surviving spouses. So again, great opportunities there. And then the next one, the returning veterans product, is actually a little bit more money for veterans that at some point during their military service were deployed to an overseas military intervention. They're able to access up to $10,000. And again, that's where the great partnership with the member financial institution can be helpful, because they can gather the right documentation to determine whether the borrowers are eligible for the $7,500 or the $10,000. But again, this $10,000 is for any veteran that served in a military intervention. And again, veterans are not required to contribute any of their own money. So these products, as we've talked about a little bit before, so all of these products give you a great deal of variety. So the veterans products, of course, work with a VA loan that may not necessarily need a down payment, but perhaps could cover the VA funding fee and any other out-of-pocket expenses. So there's still great ways to leverage these products with a number of different first mortgage products, and that's where the partnership with the member financial institutions can definitely come in handy. So now we have the opportunity to hear from another member, Steve Shoemaker with Synovus Bank, and he'll talk to us about how Synovus has leveraged these products.
Hey, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. And really want to convey our thanks to NARAB and the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta for helping us and allowing us to participate in the program today. You know, we've looked at the Atlanta Federal Home Loan Bank as a leader amongst their peers. Quite often the other banks look to Atlanta for direction, and it's because they're the best in class of the organizations, and we're really proud to be a partner there. You know, there's been a lot of benefits that are, you know, obviously we've heard from a lot of folks today what's the foreseen benefits, but there's also some that we didn't see when we really elevated our partnership. Like a lot of lenders, we did some loans with them, but not that many, weren't that passionate. Then internally, we dedicated operational support teams to support nothing but our down payment assistance programs and our Federal Home Loan Bank loans. And It really elevated what we were able to do. This means we had dedicated processors, underwriters, and closers, and they work exclusively with the institutions like the Federal Home Loan Bank and our local communities with their down payment assistance programs. What that's done for us for the last 3 years, we've seen 2017, we had about 106 closings with down payment assistance programs. 2018, it jumped to 131. 2019, it moved up to 180. And the great thing about the Federal Home Loan Bank is become a bit of a hub and spoke for us because of our reputation and because of our ability to get those loans done and be able to help those customers and those home buyers. Realtors, builders, COIs, their confidence level has raised. So we're getting referrals from the community that knows that we're sourced well and we're taking care of things in that area. Over the past 3 years, similarly, if you look at what we've done with what we consider affordable housing products, 2017 we had 257, 2018 526, and then it doubled again in 2019 to over 1,000. So the impact that the Federal Home Bank has had on us has just been tremendous. That 1,062 units we did that we would consider affordable housing products was out of a sampling of, our entire loans closed was 6,500. So it was 16% of our loans were that way. And the other, that hub and spoke and getting all those other type of programs and other loans closed and helping those other buyers had another tremendous impact for us. And that was, it's helped us with the amount of business we're seeing in some of the communities we didn't do business with. And I know we do have a lot of people on the phone in Atlanta today. And so far this year, 30% of our loans in Atlanta have been to Black or African American buyers. And, there was a great article this morning in the Washington Post that talked about a family who bought their first home in 1936. They saved up all the money they had to do it and what that's done for them and helped to create wealth. And so, we know we're helping with those type of things. And the other unintended benefit we received because of the partnership was it helped us recruit top talent, top racially diverse talent. So throughout our footprint, the entire Synovus mortgage, 20% of our originators are racially diverse. And we have very low attrition in that space. And I think the partnership with the Federal Home Loan Bank was really the leaping off point to help make that happen. When we could start to close those loans and serve the entire communities we represent, it had a tremendous impact, both intentional and unintentional for us. So again, we're very excited to be a partner, and we cannot say enough good things about what they've done for us. So thank you all, and Cassandra, that'll wrap it up for me.
Thank you, Steve. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, ShaDonte talked to you about our affordable housing program and those products that are under that umbrella. And we have another product that is separate from the AHP program, and that's our Community Heroes product, which is another exciting product that our board approved back in 2018, where they set aside $4.5 million through a match scenario with partners with local government and housing finance agencies, where FHLBANK Atlanta would offer the one part and the partner would put in the 3 part for these products. To be eligible for the funds, applicants must be law enforcement officers, public school educators, firefighters, and other first responders. And the difference with this product is that the households must have AMIs that are greater than 80%, but no more than 120% AMI where that property is located. The first mortgage must be closed by one of our participating member banks, and the partnership and the homes being purchased must be within the FHLBANK Atlanta footprint. On the next slide, you can see the location of the 10 partnerships that we currently have. So you see who they are and where those partnerships are located.
Could we have that slide up, please? Could we have that slide up, please?
Bear with us. Ruby lost internet connection. We're pulling it up now.
Thank you.
Thank you. So again, these are the current partnerships that we have and where they're located. To date, we have committed over half of the funds that we have allocated, and we are in ongoing communication with other municipalities throughout our footprint so that we can allocate and disperse those remaining funds. For the next slide, this is just a sample of some of the media coverage that our Community Heroes product has generated throughout our district. This particular article highlights the partnership with the City of Asheville. And the huge takeaway from this slide is that through our partnership, they've made $1.4 million in funds available to those eligible home buyers. And now I'll turn it over to Patrick Nola, Vice President and Director of Production at South Point Bank.
Thank you, Cassandra. Again, my name is Patrick Nola with South Point Bank, and I am the Director of Production. You know, we've heard a lot of great information here. Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta basically is a partner that South Point can count on. But realistically, what we're here for today and what we're learning, we've heard a lot of information of what we've done in the past. But I think what all of us are focusing on and what we here at South Point focus on with the Federal Home Loan Bank is what are we doing for our customers, our borrowers, our potential home buyers today and tomorrow. Our goal is, and benefit of this program is basically to leverage the expertise and commitment, the innovation, while creating the servicing of home ownership and the ability to keep the customer, your potential home buyer at the center of what we do. I think that means a huge difference. And so, today, tomorrow, after you've heard this, the key thing is, you've spent a lot of time, you've spent a lot of effort, you've earned and gained trust with your community that you service in and you sell in, and basically what we do is we have that trust that we want to build back with you and for you. So when we hand you or you hand us that sales contract for a new home buyer, for a low to moderate home buyer, we take that very seriously. We understand that that's your paycheck, that's the borrower's and the home buyer's future of home ownership. And so in today's environment, we've heard there's basically two things realistically, and let's think about this. We're cash strapped, right? Okay, and then we're payment sensitive. And the reason for that is what we've all been through over the last few years, and especially through the last few months of what we're doing. And I believe this product, if it's used properly, we talked about a great prayer earlier, and I believe we should all have faith, but here's what it is. It's really a learned belief. If you take this information from the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta and the shareholders and the lenders that take ownership in this, what you're going to find out is it's not just what we tell you, it truly does happen. So we ask you, I call that a learned belief, okay? So when I tell you that we're going to be able to put more people into home ownership, we're going to be able to help them with the two critical things that they're worried about is their payment and their money, their down payment money. They've spent that, unfortunately with COVID and a lot of situations, they've spent some of their money that they've saved for that home ownership or that dream of what they've done. Use these products, use the ability to service them. And so South Point Bank's job is basically to tell the story. And that's your job, is to tell the story of how the American dream of home ownership is real today. And so, we are in Alabama. We've done a great job in Alabama, but our job is not just to help Alabamians. Our job is to help our nation and our country and to support the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta in doing this. And so we would love to have the opportunity to help with you, to help prepare you, as Mr. Shoemaker stated earlier, and Mr. Shedley and actually Becky said that there's different programs, there's flyers, there's presentations, there's a lot of different things that we can help provide that's going to help you tell your story and help provide that home ownership that moves in there. So, the key part of this also is, again, payment and down payment. and we cover both of those. There's not a monthly payment that goes with this, so that's huge. So somebody that's going to be able to get $5,000, $7,500, $10,000, depending upon, you know, where they work or the branch of the service that they work in, things of that nature, that is tremendous, guys, to be able to help. And you think about it, we've had our tax services, we've had expand. A lot of people have still filed extensions. You know, everybody, most people can come up with $1,000, okay? But they need that additional 4, 5, 6, 7,000. And the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta has created, you know, programs that basically allow your customers and people in your communities to realize the benefit of ownership even during the financial crises and services that we've been through. You know, so by leveraging the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, we can, you, I, all of us can build for the future by coaching and guiding and preparing future home buyers. So that's not just for today. Allow us to help and take somebody that may have had a hard time, that's looking to buy in the near future, but they need some help to get them back on track. Okay, and that's cuts to the sheer center of what the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, South Point, is all about, is being able to help everybody and make, you know, home ownership a reality. So my comment to you, or my last leading to you, would be this: you know, we're here to help you grow your business. Okay, but reality is today is tough. There's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of opportunities. You know, we can't get money. You can't do this. I'm here to tell you, and we're examples, and we've got many, many testimonials from people out there that will tell you this product allowed them, you know, the Federal Home Loan Bank, South Point Bank allowed them to get into a home that they couldn't get into before. Okay? And so let's focus on how we help others reach the potential of what they're trying to do. And that's what matters. It's what we can do for you today and how we can help you tomorrow, I think, is the key. Again, it's been an honor and a blessing to be able to share this time with you. Would love to have any personal conversations, help future as we move forward with this, to help you, you know, put a game plan together to how this benefits, because it's not just for teachers, it's not just for policemen. A lot of these areas are for the school bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, people that they don't think they can do this, okay? And then they have the products to where if they're limited to the 80% of the HUD median income. There's the Community Heroes program, and that we want to help. It's up to 120% of the median income, which is a $20,000 to $30,000 swing of what that income is. The difference is, are you ready to make a learned belief? I'm here to help you. Thank you. Mr. Flemings, I want to pass this to you, sir.
Thank you, Patrick. This is Cassandra. So the goal for Federal Home Loan Bank is to assist our members by providing tools and resources that help them connect with potential borrowers. So we have this great tool that's available on our website where your customers can just go to the link, select the radio button for lenders that participate in AHP ownership products, enter their zip code, and it's going to bring up a list of lenders in their area. They're able to reach out to a contact person via email and correspond with them. And on screen are a couple of those messages that were sent to shareholders via that locator tool. So it's an excellent resource to help your customers connect with one of our lenders. On the next slide, we talk about the process. So once your NAREB customer connects with a participating member, that member is going to submit an application for them. And as Art mentioned, the process is seamless. They submit that application through our online portal. The applications are reviewed. We issue a decision. And once you get ready to close, FHLBank will advance those funds to our members in time for your close, so that they are readily available for a simultaneous close, just in case there are other funding sources available. So again, the process can run very smoothly, very quickly for your customers. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Art Fleming.
So thank you so very much, Cassandra and ShaDonte and all of our presenters. Just an excellent job. We're right on time. Amazingly, we're on time. A lot of information. But, you know, let's just focus on 5 key takeaways, right? The first is that every single year, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta capitalizes our homeownership grant program. In other words, we have funding available every single year that we deliver a profit. So this shared prosperity model is unique to the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. And so our other business operations are, and the success of our other business operations are fundamental to our being able to capitalize and provide the funding necessary for our home ownership program. Number 2, work through one of our member institutions. And if you're a realtor participating on this call and we zoom through this really very quickly, my guess is that you'll have a recording of this webinar. You can go back at your leisure and take a look at it. But it's not necessary that you learn every single detail of our product structure. And the reason is because our members are the experts. Our members understand the product. They're in an online portal that we've developed for them. It's not necessary that you learn everything that there is to learn. Work with our members on a collaborative basis, and together you'll be able to get this thing done really very quickly. Number 3, you know, connect with our member. All right, I want to reinforce that 2 or 3 times. Connect with our member. Now, what I want to make sure that we do is for those that are participating on this webinar, that there's an opportunity, since you've devoted the time to share at least an hour of your really very busy day with us, that we have some way to make sure that the participants' contact information, if you wish, will be shared with each participant on the call. In other words, we want to make sure that we connect realtors with bankers and vice versa, right? You're on this call because you want to know how you can grow your business. Well, the first step in that is connecting, figuring out a way to work together. So we'll have some follow-up discussions on how we can do that in a way that's beneficial to all that are involved. The 4th item that I'd like to leave with you is the operational efficiency of what we're doing here. Cassandra outlined a really very high-level workflow, but I can tell you that also internally, we have a menu of customer service delivery times and customer service standards that we track and we report on every single month, as if, you know, it is, extraordinarily important that we get these things done in a timely manner, because time, I know from a realtor standpoint, time is money. So we track the performances that we have in terms of responding to you in a timely manner, getting to a closing in a timely manner. Once we're able to confirm that a closing is taking place, we can generally close within about a 24-hour period. And we try to make sure that we get an answer to a complete proposal, an application, within about a 3-day period as well. So we want to make sure that you understand that we're focused on operational efficiency. And the last thing that I'll leave you with is the fact that, you know, what we've shared with you should be beneficial to your business. I think each one of our member institutions mentioned the fact that in some way, directly or indirectly, there's some sort of business benefit to this as well, right? So those are my 5 key takeaways. I think that we have a few minutes for a few questions, and I think we'll open the floor for questions.
Hi, Art. This is Rashid Bracy. I'm manning the chat line, and I'll read off a few questions from some of our realtors participating on the call. The first question is, are these products available to member lending institutions outside of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta's footprint?
Yeah, thank you, Rashid. The answer to that is yes, and any one of us can answer the question, whether that's ShaDonte, Cassandra, myself, or any one of our member institutions. But if you work through a member institution of the Federal Home Loan Bank, we follow wherever that member does business. So if that member does business in Florida, Alabama, and also Mississippi, although the state of Mississippi is outside the geographic boundaries of the Federal Home Loan Bank, we'll follow the business footprint of our member institution, but we must work through a member institution of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta.
Hi, the next question is, will this presentation be available after the webinar?
So Rashid, I'll turn that question over to you.
Yes, this presentation will be available after the webinar. Please contact NAREB representatives for the link. Thank you.
So is that it for our questions, Rashid?
That is it for our questions.
Okay. Well, I'll turn it back over to Darnell to wrap up the webinar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much. I truly appreciated it. I do have some thank yous. I want to thank Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. I'd like to thank my team that helped coordinate this. Ms. Ruby Wright, Ms. Hill, Mr. Mon, Ms. Little. I'd like to thank some of my leadership that's on the call, Michelle Calloway, Antoine Thompson, Ed London, Bill Collins, Bill Petrie, Brandon Thorpe, Lawrence Batiste, Sharita McRae, Cheryl Merritt, Harold Carter, Sharon Henry, Maya Smith. That's what I have. Blame it on me if I missed your name. Thank you all so very much. I do have a trivia question for you today. I want you all to put on your thinking caps. As we are all aware in the real estate industry, we understand that there are associations and organizations in this space, in this real estate space. And for case in point, we have Federal Home Loan Bank of New York, of Atlanta, San Francisco. You have HUD, you got Fannie, Federal Home Loan Bank, the Federal National Mortgage Company, you got Freddie Mac, you got NAR, you got ARIA, you got NAREP, you got Ginnie Mae. There's a bunch of different organizations in this real estate space. The question today is, and this is a hard one, so it's going to be worth a $50 gift certificate. Who did the National Association of Real Estate Brokers help give their name to? Who did NAREB assist, help, contribute, strongly urge for them to rename themselves into the name they have today? And you can answer in the chat. I understand that some of you may be driving on a cell phone or what have you, but you can answer right in the chat. This is worth a $50 gift certificate. Mr. London, you cannot play. Not fair. Okay. Do we have anything in the chat so far? And my Federal Home Loan Bank folks, you guys can join as well. Cardell, wrong. Marcus, wrong. Debbie Reeves, wrong. Who did? Who owes us this debt? Who owes us this debt for helping them go and get their name?
Oh, that is true. I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go.
That's what I just
Michael
said.
3. Michael
Yes.
3.
That's
Michael
true.
3 is the winner. What chapter are you from, Michael? Let's find out what chapter he's from. You are correct, Michael 3. I don't know what chapter he's from, but find out for me.
He said Birmingham.
Birmingham. Good job, Michael. Good job. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Pull up closely. Pull up closely. The National Association of Real Estate Brokers has been the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. NAR, was called the National Association of Real Estate Boards. Went to court, they lost, we won. They changed their name, National Association of Realtors, and that's how they got their name, thanks to you. You all have a good night, have a good day. Wash your hands, stay safe, and I will talk to you later.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up, and they stay there.